Hey guys, today I'm going to go through how to make a mining rack for 6 to 8 cards out of one of these $29 bamboo shoe racks from Kmart. We're going to follow the instructions, except for we're not going to put the top shelf on. What we're going to do is we're going to smash the shit out of the top shelf and change the height for it, and then it's perfect for mining. This is what comes in the box. There's a bunch of screws there, a couple of dowels, as well as an Allen key. And this is the frame. It comes with 2 side bits and then 3 shelves, and that is literally it, easy and simple. Using the countersunk screws on each side, the screws want to fit through each one of the holes there. Put the bottom shelf on the rack. Screw the second shelf onto the rack. Now once those 2 shelves are screwed in, we're going to find this top countersunk hole that's there, and we are going to drill a hole from hole to hole directly 5 centimeters below that hole for this support shelf that we're going to stick on to hold all of your graphics cards. Check that the drill bit that you're using matches up with the existing hole size. Drill that hole directly 5 centimeters below. Then with one of these puppies, you want to countersink that hole to kind of match up with the one that's above it. Then do this to the other side, on the same side as your existing screw hole. Don't do it for the ones that are at the back. Get your shelf that's here, the last one to go on, and we want to pull off all of these center slats, which are just held on by a crappy little staple. These should just pop off, like so. Now you're left with this. What we want to do is we want to pull these poles away from this member here, and we want to separate this piece as one single piece. Now you'll end up with a beam that looks like this, with some screw holes in each end. Match them up with the holes that we've just countersunk and screw them in. Now your frame should be rigid, looking something like this, and sturdy as anything. Looking down on your rig with a card that's on a riser, you want to slide the IO faceplate just to touch with it like that, and then mark your holes when the cards are seated in properly to make sure that we can drill some screw holes all the way along the beam to fit however many cards you want to fit on top. Once you've marked out your spacing for your drill holes, you want to be careful to miss these beams with the IO shield, because otherwise your card will stick up a little bit awkwardly. I've learned that mistake a few times. But once you've marked out all of your drill holes, drill them in with the same drill bit that you used before to drill all of your rig together. Your holes should now be drilled neatly in there, ready for your cards to get drilled in and secured into place. As you can see from here, it doesn't make a single difference how long the cards are, it doesn't make a difference how short the cards are, and again they're all relatively stable in there and they're not coming out. This is what I mean by keeping an eye on the IO shields, because you want these to slide in. If it touches on here, the card will sit up awkwardly at a weird flex. But do that the whole way along for the rig, and then you're ready to go. Now for those of you with lots and lots and lots of cards, they actually come with dowels in the box, and these rigs are stackable, these frames are stackable. So if you've got a 12 card motherboard, for example, you can have 6 cards on one shelf, a motherboard, and then another shelf below this with 6 cards on that, and you can stack it so that you've got double the amount of cards per motherboard. Each one of these shelves is enough to hold a motherboard, an ATX power supply, and a server power supply perfectly, not an issue at all. Now you guys can cable tie this mess however you want. This looks messy as anything from the back, but it all connects in. I've got splitters connected to each one of the card and riser combos. Enough wattage coming from the server power supply. I've made sure that there's double or equal amount of wattage getting drawn through either side of the server power supply. I've got all of the USB cables connected up into the USB PCIe slots on the motherboard. I'm just connecting in my HardOS copy right now. Stick that in, and all I've got to do now is just put an ATX power supply, connect it up to the CPU, and then connect it up to the server, and the rig is done. Took probably about 20 minutes, 30 minutes total. Not bad for something that costs $29.